Diabetes free India. How is it possible? This is the fourth of 5 videos in our World Diabetes Day series. This day reminds us that diabetes is not just a disease, it is a global health challenge affecting over 540 million people worldwide and growing rapidly in younger age groups. It is also a family issue, that is, the condition has a hereditary tendency. If either parent has diabetes, the children's risk increases. What's more, diabetes that once appeared in parents only in old age is now seen in their children in youth and in grandchildren even during adolescence. In this fourth episode, we will discuss if diabetes runs in the family, how do we prevent it? And if you are already taking medication for insulin injection for type 2 diabetes, how do we step out of it? Over the first 3 episodes, we learned one, type 2 diabetes is not an insulin shortage problem, it's insulin resistance with often excess insulin, hyperinsulinemia. Two, a single root driver, chronic inflammation, feeds diabetes and its companion diseases. 3. Even if you are able to control blood glucose with medicine or insulin in type 2 diabetes, without addressing the root cause, insulin resistance and hyperinsulinemia, related organ damage will continue. Now, in part 4, we will see why lifestyle can even outsmart heredity. Today, we will understand how lifestyle correction becomes a game changer, powerful enough to overcome hereditary risk. When we think and look beyond medicines, we find that the true secret of recovery is hidden inside ourselves. How can your lifestyle influence the genetic material, DNA inside your cells? How can you send the right signals and guidance to your genes? Let us find out. To overcome hereditary diseases like type 2 diabetes, we should learn the science of gene expression and epigenetics. What is epigenetics? It is the science of the relationship between genes and lifestyle. The human body is made up of about 50 trillion cells. In each cell, DNA, the genetic material, resides in 23 chromosomes inherited from the father, 23 chromosomes and a mitochondrial DNA inherited from the mother. Each person's genetic operating manual is written in the 4-letter language of DNA. We cannot change our genetic structure, our DNA, that is your hardware. But through your lifestyle, you can turn epigenetic switches within these genes on or off. This happens through chemical modifications such as methylation and acetylation on DNA and the histone proteins around it, as well as through non-coding RNAs. Think of this as your software. An unhealthy lifestyle creates inflammation, a kind of cellular swelling or congestion. These signals switch on disease promoting genes. In contrast, accurate nutrition and physical activity can switch off inflammatory genes and switch on protective repair genes. In other words, while genes are the hardware, lifestyle can control the software that determines when and how those genes operate. When we clearly understand these modern epigenetic insights and apply them practically, we gain the capacity to control not only insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, but also most lifestyle diseases without drug or surgery. Mitochondria are the powerhouse inside our cells. Dysfunction of mitochondria is a major factor in diabetes and many other lifestyle diseases. A tiny mitochondrial DNA inherited from the mother is as important as, or even more important than, the DNA in the cell nucleus. Defects in mitochondrial DNA impair the process of converting glucose into energy. This explains the fatigue seen in people with diabetes, even when they eat and even when the sugar is normal or high. Here, the mitochondria are unable to convert glucose into usable energy. Meanwhile, when our conventional diabetic treatment protocol focuses on increasing insulin levels to lower blood glucose, the excess glucose gets converted into fat in the liver. This excess energy converted to fat should be stored inside the fat cells. When fat cells become overfilled and the storage capacity is exhausted, triglycerides in the blood begin to rise. That is when fat accumulation starts outside the fat cells, leading to fatty liver and chronic liver diseases, atherosclerosis, and vascular blockages, etc. Research now shows that diabetes and cancer share common soil: metabolic dysfunction. Years of poor diet, excess glucose, and excess fat, along with deficiencies of vitamins, minerals, and omega 3 fats and toxins, damages the mitochondria, the cell's power station. As a result, cells are forced to rely on less energy efficient pathways to produce energy from glucose. The metabolic waste generated in this state of create inflammation, a cellular congestion. Hyperinsulinemia, excess insulin levels, mitochondrial dysfunction, and the resulting metabolic waste together nourish cancer cell growth. That's why diabetic patients have a higher risk of cancers of the liver, pancreas, colon, breast, etc. Healing mitochondria through nutrition, physical activity, and detoxification doesn't just control sugar, it strengthens your entire defense system against chronic diseases, including cancers. What must we do? Using epigenetic possibilities, we need to restore the health of our cells and their mitochondria. We must understand its importance. Let us see how lifestyle correction becomes a game changer here. Three lifestyle factors mainly influence epigenetics. First is nutrition. Using precise data from specialized tests, provide the right quality and quantity of nutrients to reduce organ inflammation and supply clean fuel to the body. This helps repair damaged cells, restore insulin receptors, and normalize insulin and glucose levels. Second is circulation, the blood flow. Through targeted physical activity, improve blood circulation so that nutrient rich, clean blood reaches the organs, removes damaged cells, and help rebuild new cells. Next is detoxification. The body must be able to eliminate accumulated toxins and prevent new toxin load. The body perceives medication as chemical burdens. They increase the workload on the immune system, kidneys, and liver. Only when we can liberate ourselves from the unnecessary medicines, we can strengthen our immune system, make repair work efficient, and ease the body's renewal. The common belief is that if sugar reports are normal, diabetes is under control. That is not correct. High sugar is only one symptom of diabetes. In the preclinical stage, before blood glucose start rising in type 2 diabetes, insulin level in the blood start rising. The core problem is that insulin, the hormone that regulates metabolism, is not working properly. For the body, glucose is simply a fuel to produce energy. Insulin's job is to oversee the conversion of glucose to energy, and when there is excess, to store it as fat. When inflammation and congestion stops insulin receptors from working, blood sugar begins to rise and pancreas produce more insulin and keep the glucose level normal. This is where diabetes begins. The excess insulin converts glucose into fat and stores inside the fat cells, especially inside the abdomen. Weight gain and abdominal obesity follows. As body fat increases, the function of insulin receptors declines further. The pancreas tried to solve the problem by producing even more insulin. When the pancreas tries and cannot produce enough insulin, or when most of the insulin receptors fail, blood glucose rises. Some people with diabetes find that no matter how many tablets they take or how much they increase insulin doses, the sugar does not come under control. The reason is their insulin receptors are not working. Hyperinsulinemia, high insulin levels, causes health problem as much as or more than high glucose. It plays a major role in fat deposition and block formation in blood vessels. That means from the excess insulin in the pancreas makes in early diabetes to the increase in insulin caused by medications to insulin injection for type 2 diabetes patients. All this can promote fat deposition in blood vessels and increase the risk of conditions related to abnormal tissue growth such as retinopathy, prostate enlargement, PCOD in women, cancers, etc. This is why, even those taking proper treatment for type 2 diabetes and keeping the blood glucose under control, still develop heart attacks, strokes, retinopathy, nephropathy, neuropathy, cancers, etc. Patients, healthcare professionals, and policy makers must understand these scientific truths and appropriately revise diabetes treatment protocols. We must move from being patient to becoming informed, capable individuals who self manage, strengthen, and improve our health. We should understand that medicines cannot repair ourselves. We should fix our goals. 1. Avoid lifelong medications for lifestyle diseases. 2. Avoid surgeries for lifestyle diseases. And 3. Gain health freedom. This is where you shift from being a patient on medicines to a person in charge of your own health. This is not just treatment, it is a scientific transformation towards health. For this transformation, you need a clear pathway. In the next and final episode, part 5, we will see how, by scientifically guiding the 3 key lifestyle pillars, you can make successful lifestyle changes and become a new healthy person who is no longer a patient. Imagine your body as a living orchestra. Sugar levels, cholesterol, and blood pressure are just the instruments. What matters is the music they create together. When one instrument is out of tune, adding more medication may silence the sound, but it does not restore the harmony. Lifestyle correction retunes the orchestra, restoring rhythm, not just control. Another important aspect is when someone is talking about healthcare and your treatment approaches, you should consider the scientific background of the concerned person. I'm Dr. Jolly Thomson, started medical education in Government Medical College Kottayam as 1981 batch and completed diploma and MD in obstetrics and gynecology from Government Medical College Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, India in 1992. After an additional training in reproductive medicine, surgery, and painless labor, I joined government service. Later, I resigned from government service and in 1997 started practicing as consultant at Life Care Center, Tevara, Kochi. I focus on lifestyle modulation with clinical support, minimizing medication and surgical interventions for lifestyle diseases. The time has come to rethink how we view diabetes. Taking medicines for life is not the solution. Understanding and correcting lifestyle at its root is the solution. Let us unite doctors, patients, families, and policymakers to build a future where India leads the world, not in diabetes numbers, but in diabetes freedom. Share this message with everyone you know because every informed person becomes a step towards a diabetes free India. Real solution lies not in more medicines, insulin, or operations, but in fixing the lifestyle errors at the root. Find detailed insights on diabetes and other lifestyle diseases, pros and cons of modern medical treatments, and clinically supported lifestyle correction on our website and other videos on this channel. If every community adopted lifestyle correction as the first line of care, the global burden of type 2 diabetes would drop dramatically. Fewer medications, fewer surgeries, fewer hospitalizations, and more lives lived fully. A diabetes free India could inspire a diabetes free world. Health freedom is not a privilege, it's a birthright. In the final episode, part 5, we will discover how to measure your real progress beyond sugar numbers, how to track improvements in insulin sensitivity, energy, and mental clarity, and how to design a personal lifestyle plan that fits your genetics, culture, and environment. Remember, transformation begins with awareness, and awareness becomes medicine. Please share this video with your family, friends, and communities worldwide. Let us create an informed generation that understand how lifestyle can rewrite genes. Together, let us move towards a diabetes-free India and a diabetes-free world. Thank you. Diabetes-free India. How is it possible?